Hello, I wanted to walk you through some of the apps that and programs you're going to want to have on your various devices. We're going to start with OneNote. If you're on a PC, this can be found in the Microsoft Store, or probably it's already located among your programs since it comes installed by default. If you want to search for it, you can search for OneNote. I just wanted to make a distinction that what you're looking for is this one, OneNote for Windows 10. And I bring that up because there is a different OneNote that comes as part of Office that's actually just called OneNote. I'll let that go ahead and open so you can see the distinction of that. But the one that we want is the app version. That one is much more versatile to what we want to be using. It's quicker. This one that's kind of setting up is the one that's more tied into the Office suite, and it's a little bit older. It's on there basically for people who still wanted the old interface. This is what it looks like. It's a little bit of an old, slightly clunkier interface. It looks a lot like Word. It's good. It was good for its time, but it's been depreciated by Microsoft and in favor of the new one, which is the app. If you're on a Mac, finding the app, sorry, I'm going to switch over to my Mac here. Going to that is just a matter of going to the App Store and doing a search for, basically you can search for Microsoft Office if you want to get the full suite of stuff. So I'm going to go and I see now I've got Word, there's Excel, there's PowerPoint, and OneNote. As well as a few others that you may want to get, including Microsoft To Do. That's a favorite of mine, but it does give you OneNote, and it's just a matter of putting it on, and its updating is handled completely by the App Store, so you're fine there. iPhone and Android phone users, I've got iPhone here, so I'm just going to kind of throw it there. It's in the App Store here, and if I just do a search for basically Microsoft OneNote, or so I just go Microsoft Office, I can get access to all that. And I'm putting Office because that's going to give me all the different Office Suite ones down here. OneNote's here, and you can kind of see it there. While we're here, I'm going to talk about Microsoft Office. If you're on an iPhone or Android phone, you're going to want to get this one. And if you're on an iPad or tablet, you're going to want to go down and download the individual ones. Word, Excel, PowerPoint are the individual apps. But on a phone, the Office app works really, really well. It's kind of all three of them tied into one app, and has the same functionality as all of it. You are going to want to have Microsoft Word, because if you ever need to open a Word document that we've created, it's going to let you see the equations. That's a big one. Google Docs does not have a good equation editor for our purposes, but Office does. So let's go back to PC. If you're on PC, you want to go to office.com and download the full complete Office suite. This Install Office button here is going to give you basically all of that. If you're on a Mac, you can go to, this is getting confusing almost with the different systems on here. You're going to want to, again, go to the Mac App Store, and you'll search for Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, or all this stuff in this bundle. You don't need to purchase the bundle. You have access to that from your login that you have through Rebuff. So once you log in, or once you install the app, just log in with your Rebuff credentials, and that should give you full access. So that's PC, Mac, phone. Just search for them in their various app stores. I want to talk for a second about this one, Microsoft Whiteboard. We're going to use that instead of when you come by for help and I need to show you something on a piece of paper. This is going to be my piece of paper. I actually have it on iPad and phone, so I'll be using it on an iPad mostly to kind of pull it out pretty quickly. So let me go to my phone really quick and just kind of walk you through this one. I've got it right here. It's probably going to be promoted to my home screen, but this is what it looks like on my phone, and very similar to iPad. It just enables me to create kind of a quick page for anyone. So a new whiteboard would be, here's a blank page. I'm going to show you something. Maybe I'm going to add some backgrounds and put some graph paper on it or whatever. I can also use OneNote for this, but this is going to be much quicker in a sense. I'm not going to have to try to find where, what am I trying to say? I'm not going to try to find a blank page and create that, and then I can quickly share this with you. So the only advantage for Mac people, or disadvantage for Mac people, is that there isn't a separate app for Mac users. There is a website, but that you don't need to worry about that at the moment. Just if you're on a PC, go to the Microsoft Store and grab Microsoft Whiteboard. If you're on a phone, go and grab it as well. So that should take care of the Microsoft side of things. Now let's switch over to the Google side of things. We do use quite a few Google apps, and on a computer, this is going to be PC or Mac. Some of the bigger ones that we use, I'm going to switch over to this, are we use chat.google.com. If you're really adept on a browser, especially a Chrome or Edge browser, Edge Chromium, either one of them work for this, you can install it as a web app. So a web app means that it appears as a separate application on your computer, and it operates very much like an app instead of just a web page. Google Meet's another one. So that's also a web page if you're on a computer, meet.google.com. We'll use that when you're not with us in class. And clearly, these are both on phones. So hopping over to the phone, if you do not have these installed on your phone, you're going to want that. So just you'll kind of notice front and center, these are two of my Google apps that I have right here. While I'm on the phone, other three apps that are utterly essential are Google Classroom, Google Drive, and Google Calendar, especially Classroom and Calendar. I don't tend to use Google Drive as much in the class, but you will have classes that use that. You'll definitely be using Google Classroom. We have classroom sites set up for you. That includes a separate calendar. And Google Calendar itself is pretty essential to knowing what we're doing on any given day. You can see I have calendar set up for all my classes, and as we scroll down, basically all my courses are planned for the year as best as we can do at this point. When you're on a computer, it's just a matter of going to calendar.google.com. So it's kind of throw that down here, have a quick link up there. And there you are. You should have on the left side of your screen, once this loads, all of your different courses with separate calendars. It can get a little confusing when you see all of it together, but one of the things that you need to know about math especially is that it'll always in math be listed by the day that we do something. So it's having some fun loading things since I'm connected to lots of devices, and my partner in crime's inside on a German conference call, so our internet's kind of being taxed today. But if I go to my calendars, you can see all of my different ones, and you'll be able to see yours. I kind of put mine with a period in front of it, so you can see what course period it is. And I don't need to completely tell you how calendaring works, but you get the idea. It's up to you as to your email, what program you want to use for that. Some of my students will go ahead and just put Gmail on their phone and use the Gmail app for their school's Gmail. Some will actually go and use the built-in mail app for their iPhones or Android phones and put it in there. I tend to use Outlook because, me and Microsoft, and I put my school email there. But it's your call on what you want to do. You'll notice that I have Office and OneNote front and center. You will be opening OneNote a great deal on your phones because this is how you're going to be uploading things. So it is essential that you have this on your phones as well as your other devices. Other optional things, really, when it comes down to kind of some funsy, school apps. This is my teacher app, but you have a student one. You do want to get the Burbuff app on there. Desmos and Slater are completely optional at this point, but you can put them on. Desmos is a graphing calculator. It's also a website that many of you may have used in middle school or last year at Burbuff as well. Slater is a free repository of answer keys to textbooks, including ours. We tend to provide you on our website with, or on our OneNote with any answer keys that you need. They're not secret by any stretch of the imagination in math. But this has answer keys to stuff if you want to look elsewhere in the book or just find more problems. So that's a resource. This is your textbook for Algebra 2. Some of the other ones are up there as well. So that's really about it in terms of that. I do want to caution you, I have PhotoMath on here. I'm not saying you can't put it on your phones. I am saying we will be talking a little bit, well, I should say a lot, about its usage and when you should and when you shouldn't and when you can and when you can't. So just be wary of that. All right, I'll see all of you in a few days, hopefully.